Billy Lawless.
Thank you, Cathaoirleach. Cathaoirleach, I want to start by saying that I agree with Senator McDowell's call yesterday for a proper debate and discussion in this House on the question of direct provision. I appreciate that what the Senator spoke to yesterday, and again his article this morning, is built on his own experience as a former Minister for Justice and Attorney-General, concerned with the process, procedure and legality of those who seek refuge in our state. What I would like to touch upon, of course, is the human story that, for me, is at the heart of this debate and the national discussion taking place. Firstly, I want to speak to the humanity of those working in organisations who provide practical and emotional support to those seeking asylum in this state, from the Irish Refugee Council to the movement of asylum seekers in Ireland. I want to pay tribute to our primary and secondary schools across the country who are providing the gift of education and helping with the integration of refugees in the communities in which they reside. Most of all, Cathaoirleach, I want to pay tribute to the communities right across Ireland that host direct provision centres from Killarney to Carrick-on-Suir, with little fuss and none of the fear that has been fostered in recent months. These are the people and the Ireland that I recognise. It is not up to communities to identify who should or should not be applying for asylum here, or which application is more worthy than the next. That's the responsibility of the state. As Irish people, however, we are uniquely and indelibly linked to our own story of immigration, forced off these shores through starvation and deprivation, and granted asylum when no system existed to help build the most powerful nation on earth, the United States of America. The ability of our state to meet the economic and social challenges of those seeking refuge are also unique to practically every other country in the European Union. There are no rubber dinghies coming across the Irish Sea packed with people who carry with them the dreams and aspirations of a better life. I accept that in the modern world, of course, every state must be able to control and manage its borders, and that the management of those borders can at times be done with limited compassion. There are some people in this country who want to undermine our democracy, and they are using unsavoury tactics of putting blame on the other or the stranger as the causes of our economic and social injustices. We Irish have seen this before also, with signs like "No blacks, no dogs, no Irish." Our dialogue and discussions should be about how communities work to help those seeking asylum, and can we talk about how Ireland fulfils its obligations to those seeking refuge. And yes, let's have the honest discussion that my colleague spoke about yesterday. But Cathaoirleach, I plead that this discussion is not about who should or should not be applying in the first place, and which person's application is more genuine than another. But instead, that this discussion is about how do we grant asylum as quickly as possible to those who are entitled to the refuge of this country. How do we ensure that for those that are applying and are in our direct provision centres, that Ireland deals with them humanely? These are the questions that, if answered, will speak, in my view, to the true instincts of us Irish people and our tied history to immigrant communities across the world. Thank you, Cathaoirleach.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Rose.